photography. That's for sure. This is show number 208. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Show number 208 in this ongoing drama that is PhotoShare and Discussion. September 24th, 2017. The first show of fall, I guess. Yeah, fall officially came on Friday.
Yep.
So we've changed seasons, and I'm sure it's now cold and snowy in Gainesville, right, Wes?
Yeah, it's just got our parkas on, and our snowshoes are getting ready to be dusted off.
I know that's what it is here. Actually, it's warmer now than it was in the first part of September for us.
It was really hot today. We were commenting on that when we were out doing our Sunday shopping. It's really hot today.
Yeah, it's been like in the close to 90 all week here, and it was about that today, and it's supposed to be that way next week too, all the way through the first of at least through next weekend, I guess, and then maybe it's supposed to cool down a little bit, but yeah, a little warmer than normal. The first part of the month was cooler than normal, so I guess it all averages out. But the leaves are already starting to change a little bit. I guess it's more just from reduced light is what I think ultimately changes starts the leaves changing, at least, I guess, because it hasn't been any that much cooler, on a consistent basis than normal, but the amount of light is dropped. So, but yeah, we are starting to see some leaves turn a little bit. Some of the poplars and that type of thing the leaves are starting to change colors a little bit. So can't be far away, I guess. When does the leaves change here? Probably end of October, I think. Yeah. Yep. Last week of October, first week of November. So I was just thinking about that this weekend, going, I was going to get out with a large format camera and do some fall color, and I really haven't planned to do any of that yet. So I better get on that in a couple of weeks. Yeah, I'm sure all the places that I would drive to and stay overnight are probably booked up at this point, for popular places. But I guess I can just drive up to the North Georgia mountains. And if I can do that like during the weekday, I plan to take a weekday off and go up early in the morning and do it. And hopefully there won't be too many other people up there, like on a Wednesday or something.
Yeah.
So you guys don't get really any color down there, do you? Leaves just kind of
not much
fall off the tree and then come back on, right?
Yeah, they pretty much just fall off in February kind of thing. And
yeah. Now most of your hardwoods. Now what do you've got oaks, obviously, lots of oak.
The maples change colors, but there's not very many of them. So it's you see spots of color here and there, but it's not like it is, up north in the mountains and stuff. Yeah. And so they change and lose their leaves a little earlier, and then the oaks lose. Yeah, they lose the leaves in the middle of the winter. It seems like. Yeah. I mean, ours we've got a couple oaks in our yard, and the leaves turn brown, but they don't fall off until spring. Basically, they fall off in March for us, mid to end of March. But I need to get together with my buddy here who has a large format camera and see if he's planning on going anywhere, within a day's drive. Maybe tag along and do that. Go up to Brasstown Bald or somewhere up there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Kind of head up into Dahlonega, that area, which is beautiful. I mean, it's really beautiful this time of year. But the issue has been in the past, I've only been able to get up there really on the weekends, which is it's just packed with people. So I figure if I can go up like on a Wednesday morning or middle of the week, early into leave first thing in the morning, and get up there at 7 o'clock or something like that, I might have a chance of getting some stuff without a bunch of people driving around. So I've got to investigate that. That'll hopefully be the plan. Get that put together in the next week or so. Okay, so I didn't do any photography, although I did develop some film or scan in some film this week. Did you get out with the camera at all this week?
No, I didn't do anything this week. I'm kind of in a slow down mode because I know October is going to be hectic. I was looking at the calendar, and it's like every weekend there's at least one or two things that I'm going to be shooting, and it's going to be crazy.
Good. Are they festivals or just things that you're going to be doing for friends and that type of thing?
there's like the Kelby Walk, and there's some auto racing type stuff I want to do, and there's the homecoming parade, and there's
okay.
So
a lot of activities.
I was going to try and go shoot, and yeah, a bunch of stuff like that.
Okay. So is the Kelby Walk next weekend?
No, it's the 7th, I think.
The 7th, okay.
Yeah, October 7th. Yeah.
Are you leading it again this year? Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna be at GABF that weekend. I know there's a conflict there, so I'm not gonna be doing much photography there. I don't
know. Probably a lot of blurry pictures.
Yeah. I'm just taking my phone. That's the only imaging device I'm taking with me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not holding any false hopes that I'll actually do any real photography. It should be fun, nonetheless. I can get creative. I just maybe not in a photography kind of way. So.
Yeah.
Hey, Simi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Been a while. Glad to have you back.
I've been busy.
Yeah. That's you've been putting out a lot of images, so that's looks like you've been getting out pretty much every weekend, right?
Weekend, weekdays.
Good.
Whenever I can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before the frozen comes.
Yeah. You've got another couple months for that. So you got fall color coming up. So have you planned anything for that? Any specific road trips or anything related to the changing of the leaves?
Vermont might be in the plans right now.
That'd be nice. We're
already getting color here in Connecticut, which is, way ahead of schedule.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I was just saying before you popped in that we're actually getting some leaves are starting to change here actually. Not, we won't get anything for another 3 to 4 weeks at least. But is it the light that causes the leaves to start turning? The change in light first off, and then the temperature. I guess there's conflicting theories on exactly.
Maybe a combination of both.
Yeah. I think here it's definitely the reduction in daylight, probably. But if you guys are already starting to get some color there, which is about 3 weeks, almost a month, 2 to 3 weeks ahead of schedule, right?
Yeah, usually around mid-October we start getting peak time. So yeah.
So you guys are a week or two ahead of things. So
I'll take it though.
Yeah. You just got to make sure if you're going up to Vermont that you time the visit properly now, because if it's coming on early here, what's it doing up there? I wonder. Yeah, you never know, I guess. Hey, Dennis.
I'll be taking a look this week though. I have to check that out. Yeah,
they start publishing the like the color charts or color maps. Probably the Vermont Visitors Bureau does that, I would imagine. They're probably kind of updated maps on a regular basis, kind of saying here's where the colors are and peak, past peak, approaching peak, that type of thing. So yeah, you just gotta be ready to move. If the colors are changing early, you just gotta be ready to hop in that car and drive up at a moment's notice, capture the color. Good. Well, hopefully you can get up there and get some color, because your camera tossing's been pretty good lately, Simi. So we would expect that with some fall color, you'd probably be able to toss it up and get a few things, I would think.
You guys.
You're the only one of us on a regular basis that really gets out and does photography. So you're going to get a little bit of grief from us just because it's really because we're jealous.
Come on, guys, you gotta get out there. I need some support.
Yeah. I was just telling Wes, I've got my large format camera all ready to go and was ready to do stuff for fall, and fall's upon us almost, and I really haven't planned anything. So I've got to do some quick planning here in the next week or so and figure out what I want to do during the week, and hopefully get up and use some of that expensive Ektar film in the camera. It's not doing me any good sitting in the box. I gotta use it. So
this stuff has a shelf life, doesn't it?
Yeah, within a year or two. Yeah, I've got a box. I've still got one box unopened, and it's been in the fridge since May. I got it in April, and it's been in the fridge since May. And I've got my one open box still has 5 sheets in it, I think. No, I've got 3 sheets in the box, and I've got a holder with a sheet on each side. So I've got 5 sheets left to expose from the one box, and then 1 unopened box. So I've got 15 sheets to do, but that gets expensive. And maybe I should get my own chemicals, huh, Dennis? If I'm going to have that many sheets, I could actually buy my own chemicals and do it all at once.
Yeah, I think that's the plan, Mark. You've got to have a batch to do it once, then the chemicals won't go off.
Yeah, except I've never done color before, and if I mess it up, then I'll be really pissed.
It's not any more difficult than doing black and white, Mark.
Yeah, I guess I'm just intimidated by color. I don't know.
Yeah, everyone seems to run away from color, but you know, the main thing is keep the temperature constant on everything, and when you first develop is the main thing. As long as you keep that in that correct 38 degrees, then you don't have any problems. Yeah, you can vary after that. It's not too serious. It's the first developer.
Yeah, once you get the first one. So 38 is basically, was it like 108? Is that what it comes out to? Something like that, Fahrenheit? Well, whatever the conversion is. So it's pretty warm.
Yeah. We don't convert anymore because we do Celsius here and that.
Yeah. Well, we're the only country that doesn't.
Yeah. You still got feet and inches and all that. Yards.
Yeah, the crazy stuff. I don't know. We kind of made a push for it in the 70s, and then they just fell apart. Nobody went with it. And although all our labels and everything have both, metric and our system, so I don't know why they just don't say, okay, we got a drop dead date of December 31st, 2019. Learn it because it's going to go away at that date.
Yeah, well, to be fair, we still use miles in this country. Yeah, if you go into Southern Ireland or you go into Europe, everything's kilometers, like Canada. But, yeah, we're still using miles. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The metric system is so much easier. It's so easy to convert from one to the other and back and forth. And
I mean, everyone here knows there's 1,760 yards in a mile.
Yeah, that's just common knowledge. I mean,
yeah. And then your children turn around and go, "What are yards?"
Yeah, I was all for adopting it way back then, but maybe that's because my father was a engineer, so he thought, and he had to learn to, he did everything in that anyway. At the end of the day.
When you do your chemicals, it's going to be fluid ounces and milliliters.
Yeah,
they just print and everything.
Yeah, I mean, all our labels have fluid ounces and then milliliters is the way they do it, and I'd just rather go on one, but so if I get out and actually use some color film this fall for colors, I might take you up on that challenge, Dennis. And
when you go to your lab, Mark, I'm sure they're going to have the chemicals there which are all in date because they're obviously going to use them all the time. So.
Well, they don't do a lot of. I'd have to get together with the guy that runs the place and say, because he's going to do some color for the fall for his large format as well. Yeah. So it might make sense just to get it. To get one batch and then have 3 or 4 people, the 3 or 4 people that primarily shoot film, get in there and just try to do all that stuff at once. Because everybody who shoots film is probably going to do some color film.
Yeah, I processed 2 rolls of color this week. I've done one of Tim's and one of my own.
I saw you posted a shot from that. Is that from your roll? Right?
That's Tim. Yeah, we was just using up the roll.
Okay.
Because I wasn't too sure about the chemicals, Mark. I've had them in stock for about a year, but they weren't open.
Oh, okay.
But, I don't know how old they were before we bought them from the shop. There's that little bit of green tint on it again. It's. I think the chemicals. The chemicals a little bit. I put it on. So, your opinion on if you think that's not correct.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at it, I mean, it's shifted to green a little bit, is what it looks like.
Yeah, but to be fair, he's sitting in front of that chair, and the glass panel behind him, he's looking at a grass area.
Oh, so you wonder maybe the grass is reflecting.
Yeah, I just think maybe the green tint in the glass. He's probably just been exaggerated by the camera.
Yeah.
I said to him, it's not a good idea sitting in front of the glass anyway.
Yeah, it's probably not the best, but
yeah,
okay.
Like taking pictures of chrome cars, isn't it? You're going to be in them.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Well, at least you got some film developed, though, so that's good.
Yeah. It's we're getting back into like chemical photography now, and and if I'd had Wesley's role, if he'd used up that last picture, I would have done this for him.
Yeah.
Oh.
And still, my guess is Wes's answer is no, I haven't yet.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's it. I know he hasn't finished it yet. He's saving it for the next eclipse. Yeah.
You hear Sammy, Dennis is asking Wes the same question he was, I think, last time you were on the show, which was back in June or something. Whether he still used that last image on that roll of film. So, he still hasn't done it yet. So
one of these days, you never know.
Well, you said you're going to be so busy in October with all these events and everything. I mean, I think you just take the camera and say, okay, I got one frame.
Yeah. I thought about Simi in the week. I was looking through Flickr and I went on someone's photograph and they had it in 550 groups.
Wow.
Well, that's impressive.
How long that takes to put in.
550 groups.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that took him all day, probably. I mean,
the sad thing was he only had 12 faves.
Oh man.
Oh, it's bad.
Was it a good image or not?
No, it was awful.
Oh, okay.
The most impressive thing was the 550 groups.
Misplaced effort, but maybe he just wanted to see how many groups he could post it to.
Yeah, I think you must go for the Flickr record.
It's like the photo spam. You just send it everywhere. Post it to every group. Yeah.
I just want to know if there's an app or something that you can use to put in that amount of groups.
There's a built-in thing for Flickr, the organizer. I mean, you still have to.
Yeah, the organizer works a little bit, but you've got to have don't you have to have all your groups lined up at the same time? Is that how ahead of time? Or not?
Yeah, I think you still only do it one at a time now.
Yeah, that makes. See, I'm subscribed or joined. I just opened it up on. I've got 350 groups that I've tagged or signed up with over the years. So yeah, so I guess you could just drag the photo and you have to drag it to each one. I guess is the way to do that.
If I remember, I think you drag it into the thing, but then you still have to choose a group. But then I think you have to send it to each one, like one at a time. It's actually quicker just do it by hand.
Yeah, because I've always just gone by hand and open it up, and you have the list of groups that you just scroll down and check as you go, kind of top to bottom.
Yeah, so that's a bit awkward, Mark, if it's one of those groups where you post one photograph and fade 5 others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you're supposed to, but I'm sure. And I guess if the group admin is on their game, they have to, I guess, get rid of people. Because I've seen some groups where you've got to post one and fave a certain number or whatever. And
they have sweepers working. If you haven't saved anything, it automatically deletes your photograph.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. That would make sense. I mean, if you put it in as one of the rules of the group, I guess it would make sense to do that. But and that would suck if you spent all that time posting it to 550 groups and like 200 of them were cross favorites group and you didn't do anything and it got deleted the next day. You're like, oh.
Yeah. What do you do when you get the group saying like only black and white or no black and white or only film? Only medium format. It's just you couldn't go through that amount.
No, it's tough. I mean, and the organizer, the way that in the groups are, it has a name of the group, but it doesn't give all the limitations or rules for the group.
Rules.
So I just know that the groups I normally post images to, I've kind of memorized which ones are which, but I still make a mistake every once in a while. Like if I have an image of something that I want to put in a specific group that relates to that subject or whatever, and I haven't done that. There's been a couple cases where it is only supposed to be an image of that particular item, but no people in the image. You know, they just want the item. They don't want any people or that type of thing.
Yeah, no people in the images, yeah, or only cats.
Only cats in black and white. There probably is a group called cat, like analog cats. I'm sure.
Probably is.
that guy probably subscribed to it. It did 550 groups. He probably put his image in there too. So, I mean, that's really the only way you do it, Simi, is either through the organizer or just scrolling down through. So,
not through the organizer. That would take way too much time. I just manually do it. Do a few, and then I usually do it as part of, because I think I'm an admin in one of the other groups.
Okay. Yeah.
So we all put in like a few days a week, and then when I'm doing that, then I add the other ones.
Okay. Yeah. So you just kind of set aside some specific time to drink a cup of coffee and post to groups.
Yep.
Drink a big cup of coffee and post to groups. Yeah. Well, that would be a neat feature add if Flickr could do it in such a way that maybe after you've had so many images or you've been on for a while, you get access to a better posting tool, a group. A group.
You mean Verizon?
What's that?
You mean Verizon?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so I don't know. It'd be nice if they could do that, but I don't know. You know, it would be, maybe you could like put a list together of your favorite groups.
Yeah, Mark, some of those groups have got 2.4 million photographs in them. You must be on the front page for about 5 seconds.
Yeah, that is true. Those ones are, so it's always a I guess a balancing act of finding, first off, a group that actually applies to the image that you want, and then secondly, how many people are in that group. So what kind of views will the image get? Is it going to actually get seen? And then, so it's a good balance between, if there's too few people, many people aren't going to see it. But if there's too many people, not too many people are going to see it too, because it just goes so fast.
I put a photograph in on one of the groups, and then I realized they had 2.5 million members, and I checked it an hour later, and I was on page 6.
Yep. It just goes through.
Gone into infinity, you'll never be seen again.
Yeah. It's like the Buzz Lightyear group, to infinity and beyond. Okay. Well, yeah. So Simi got out and photographed. Dennis did some developing. I got some scanning done. Wes didn't do anything photographic. He still hasn't used that frame. Now, did anybody buy any equipment this week? Any new camera equipment or anything? No purchases?
No, not me.
No. Wes, you're usually our go-to. If nobody's bought anything, Wes has usually got something photography related.
Didn't get anything this week.
Okay. Me neither. Nope. Okay. I guess we're 0 for 3 so far. How about you, Dennis? No, nothing?
No. I was saying to Tim last Tuesday when he came down that I've got absolutely stacks of film to use up. I've got 10 rolls of slide to put in the camera.
Wow. You better get busy.
Yeah, that's what I said. And the weather's changing now. It's not slide weather, if you know what I mean. Not good on grey skies. Yeah.
Once you get into fall and winter, the odds of the skies being less than ideal are pretty high, I would imagine.
Yeah, even when Tim was down, the sun was really bright. It was like midday, and we was using up a roll of Hectare. It had gone out of date. So, no Portra we was using. Yeah.
Okay.
And like I said, we'll just run through a roll. It's only 12 images, just to test the chemicals.
And the light was really, 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 really bright, wasn't it?
Tons of shadow. Wrong time of the day. It would have been all right to put infrared in the camera.
Yep. You get some interesting infrared shots. Yeah. Let me go back here to the group and see what we got. Oh, okay. Cool. Looks like okay. So you posted. Are these yours, Dennis? No. Oh, Michael has posted a few. Okay. Cool.
I only put one on.
Yep, just one of Tim. Okay. Good. Cool. So we got no photography equipment purchased. A little bit of photography. Any photo news or anything? I've been so busy this week playing catch up from Irma last week that I didn't really get to do much other than get down and scan in the stuff, the sheets I shot. So I didn't really take any time to run through any of the photo news or anything. Anything new equipment? Anything coming along that we need to drool over?
It looks like you guys made it through okay, huh?
Yeah, we did. We did here. A lot of wind. We were out of power for a couple days, and took about an extra day for internet and cable to come back. We didn't.
Yeah, we lost power for a day. That was about it. My husband's car is totaled, but
oh, it was totaled, huh? You seemed to think last week that maybe it was damaged, but not beyond.
Yeah, as you look at it closer, there's more dents. There's dents on the hood and the fenders, and there's dents in too many spots. None of them are really huge, but it's just in too many spots.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Was that debris?
Just tree branches falling down.
Oof. Wow. So it's kind of like death by 1,000 cuts. Just a bunch of. Wow. So did you get the adjuster out? Is it going to be a equitable settlement? Maybe.
Yeah, they're coming to pick it up tomorrow, and we're going to go get the check. So.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Already
looking for another one.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, it's good and bad and good news, I guess, huh? Yeah. That's frustrating. I know it's, but you can't do anything about it. You know, what are you going to do? You're going to go out in the middle of the storm and try to move your car somewhere where it's protected,
and where do you move it?
yeah. Where do you move it and risk your life? It's like, okay, me or the car. I think I'd rather have the car be damaged and not me. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's hardly anywhere around here where there's no trees.
What's that, Sammy?
That sounds like a business opportunity.
Yeah.
Wes's underground car storage.
Yeah.
For hurricanes and whatnot.
Yeah. That'd be the line, for hurricanes and whatnot. Fortunately, I guess you guys really haven't. That's been the first real hurricane you've had go through Gainesville in years, isn't it? I mean,
we had Charlie in 2003.
Okay.
It hit us pretty hard.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, it's still 10 or 12. And well, this is the first real named, I guess, tropical. I guess by the time it got to us, it was a tropical storm. But the first one that we've had in 20 years or something like that. So it was definitely a rare occurrence for us. But yeah, a lot of trees went down here. Fortunately, not in our neighborhood, but a lot of people had homes and cars damaged or destroyed by falling trees. So don't need that to happen again. That's not fun. I've had one car destroyed by weather, and I don't need another one. That's for sure. It was at a car back in it was like 25 years ago, but it was essentially a brand new car, and we just had a monster hailstorm when we lived in Colorado. It was kind of the same thing. We were both inside the house watching the car get pelted by golf balls. It's just well, okay, can't do anything about that. Within a matter of about 5 minutes, it was just totaled. But so hopefully we don't get any more hurricanes coming through. We've got about another, I guess, 2 months technically of hurricane season. So looks like. Did you guys get the nor'easter from that, Simi? From was it Jose that went through? Did you guys get some wind and rain from that? Because it looked like it came right up, right off of your area, at least for stormy weather.
It sat off coast.
Mm-hmm.
So we did get some rain, but what was nice about it, at least during the evenings, is that we got actual, clouds at sunset.
Oh, okay.
So
it was a photography improvement system.
Yes, it was. Just far enough away to give us just a little bit of sprinkle, a little bit of wind, and some dramatic clouds, and then off it went.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess you'd rather have it that way than the other way, I guess. Huh? Yeah. Hopefully all the other storms steer clear of us here this fall. We don't need any more of that. That's for sure. But so no photography news, nothing new. I don't know. Are they releasing? They have release information come out a couple weeks ago, right? Like for the fall. What is the fall? The big fall show. It's not Photokina. Is it something? What's the other? Wasn't there a show in LA a few years ago? Not a few years. A few weeks ago. That was a photography industry show, or am I thinking of something else? No.
No, not sure.
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
It's probably just me.
Are you going to be sending your 750 in, Tim?
For what?
There's some sort of big major recall I've heard about. They're collecting all the 750s to get some sort of problem fixed. I don't know what it is.
Oh, I'll have to look at it, but mine doesn't seem to be having it.
Service advisory. Yeah, let's see. So Petapixel, the same shutter issue. I guess it's a faulty shutter.
Yeah, something like that. Something to do with the shutter or the sensor or something.
Yeah, a strange flare issue that caused a noticeable dark shadow band across the top of the photos. So have you experienced that at all, Simon? Any issues of that ever?
That's basically the same issue, it sounds like.
Okay.
Because of where the autofocus assembly is, like if it's off just a little bit, you'll get that weird banding across the top, but it's so specific even when you have it. It's kind of, I mean, on some models it's really hard to replicate. You have to be in like really specific situations for it to show up.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because my first one before the one that got drowned in the ocean, it had the problem, and I had sent that in when I first got it. But before that, it's like I didn't notice it at all, like, until like I'm looking directly at the sun. The sun's just out of frame, and it had to be at a particular angle, and then you would see the real weird flaring, and then the line where you could see where this dark line would come up. So I'm pretty sure it's probably the same thing.
Yeah. I was just looking at the article. It says that the third recall is now for cameras made between July 2015 and September 2016. So
yeah, I'll check it, but I haven't seen it though.
You haven't had any issues, yeah.
No, and I'm pretty bold about shooting into the sun, so. Yeah,
yes, you are. You would be like a good test case for seeing if there is an issue with that. Because you definitely like to take advantage of that sun. So okay, now that's kind of interesting. I didn't know it was recall. I didn't know aware of that. Huh. All right, that's interesting. Any other photo news? I haven't even looked at. I usually look at Petapixel like once during the week or that type of thing, as I'm for like a break.
The DA50 is released.
Yeah, I've been seeing some reviews on that. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, okay. So what is that? What would that compare to in the Canon lineup?
Oh, it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think Canon has anything in the lineup. I mean, they have the 5D. Is it DSR?
Okay.
DSR?
5DSR, yeah.
Yeah, for high megapixel count, but
okay,
it's just got fast frame rates, up to 7 frames per second, and then if you get the expensive battery grip, or if you already have a D5, you put the battery grip in, you can get up to 10. So it's like the D500 quickness.
Okay.
And I think it's 46 megapixels now.
Ooh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
up from what, 30? Was it like 34 or
36? I think.
36.
Okay. Wow, an extra 10 megapixels on the same full frame sensor.
It's got the same focus system as a D5 and a D500. So it should be quick, should be accurate in low light, much better than the 800 was, and then probably even better than the 810 was.
Okay. And for all this goodness, what are we gonna pay for it? $3,200. It looks like
3,300. Yeah.
$32.99, $96.95. So you got $3.05. You got enough to buy your camera and then get a small coffee at Starbucks on your way home.
Yeah, it's got some other features like video now is 4K uncropped.
Ooh, okay.
It's focus peaking, but I think only up to 1080p. So you can do your focus peaking while you're doing video.
Okay. Sounds like a pretty.
Yeah, they just kind of threw the kitchen sink at this one. It looks like.
Wow.
Usually they they have something where they leave something out in one and they put it in another one to try to have this distinction between one. This one they just said, we're just throwing everything in. It looks like
we've got all these features here. Let's put them all on one camera. Yeah.
Yep.
So what would this camera? Who would want this? What would be the target market for? You think it's landscape, or is it sports, or is it just
everybody?
All professional
around a high end. Yeah,
this can kind of do everything. I mean, for sports, for serious sports, you probably still want to do the D5 because even though it has the same system, I think the D5 still tracks better.
Okay.
But still, I mean, if you need to do landscapes, if you're one of those guys that does a few different things, this might be the camera for you. I mean, event shooters, like wedding shooters, will probably go crazy over this now because now they can do some video. I'm sure it's not as good as Canon.
Yeah, but they could mix in some video and
high megapixel shots and whatnot, and it's fast enough. Yeah,
get decent performance shooting sports. I mean, if it was just something you had to shoot, And
apparently, while you're in live view, even though live view is usually not the greatest on any of them, but on this one, it has a silent mode where you can take pictures silently. Like there's no shutter at all.
Ooh, that's nice.
Live view, yeah.
Electronic shutter, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be nice. Yeah. Well, for $3,200. So it's a step up from the 800, basically.
It's 810.
The 810. Okay, so the 810 is the current one. Yeah, so the 850, $3296.95, and the 810 is selling. I'm on Adorama, I think. No, Nikon Rumors. What is it selling for?
Yeah, $3,300.
$3,300. Yeah. That's you just think, Dennis, you could buy 3 brand new large format cameras for that.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like to focus a long lens on that when it's got those small photo sites. 40, let's say 45 meg.
Yeah, 45 meg.
Yeah, I mean that's got to be a pig to focus if you're using a manual lens.
Yeah,
that might be a challenge. Maybe that's why the focus peaking.
yeah.
It's using some backside illuminated system, so the photocell shouldn't be any smaller because all electronics are on the back side. Usually it's in between the photo sensors, so or photo sites. So this way they won't shrink. So that they've added more megapixels without losing size.
That's what Canon did, right? When they or is it Olympus with the high end?
Yeah, they went 42 meg, didn't they? But they were taking 2 photographs and added them together, wasn't it?
Yeah, okay, that's how they did it. It's kind of a software thing, basically. Okay, so basically what Nikon is doing is they've got a second layer, but it's behind the first. It fills in the gaps, I guess, right?
Well, just all the electronic, while they connect together, is in the backside.
Oh,
not in between the actual stuff. So.
Oh, okay, all right. So that would allow
real estate. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's the sensor is dedicated purely to image capture, not image electronics, basically. Okay. Interesting. 3296, and it comes. When's it going to be released? I guess it's it.
Oh, it's out already.
Yeah, it's
you get your hand on one.
Okay, I can just click add to cart in Adorama and get myself one for demo.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
it was sold out for a while.
Yeah, it says add to cart. Let's see if I click add to cart. Let's see what it does. Free shipping. Hey, there we go.
Hey,
just doesn't say. It doesn't say.
Go to next.
Doesn't say. Yeah, click checkout. Yeah, it doesn't say. I'm gonna go to checkout.
Add your credit card.
Yeah, you're just walking me through this, huh? There we go. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, it says on back order. Okay, that's where they get you. If I go to checkout, it does say on back order now. When I added it to the cart, it didn't tell me that. But when I went to checkout, when it came time to
you could always tell the wife. I was just making sure that it was sold out, and I accidentally hit it. And
yeah, when you put your card numbers in, Mark, don't speak them out loud, as you find you bought quite a few of those cameras.
Yeah, it's true. Say, hey, why are they shipping all over the place? There's one going to Florida, there's one going to Connecticut, and look at this one going to the UK. I don't know what happened. My 3200 turns into like 14 grand, but it's just on the credit card. It's not real money. Okay, so it is on back order. Okay, they want to know if I want to continue shopping though. Maybe not.
So no new camera equipment, but I had to get another car.
Oh, you did? What did you get rid of the VW?
It got rid of me, actually.
Ooh, what happened?
No, nothing. This was a replacement for the one that got totaled, and it was fine, but it was one of those cars that you could tell it didn't have a lot of mileage on it, but it just kind of sat.
Okay.
So stuff was deteriorating inside, and from being sitting out in the sun and whatnot.
Okay. All right.
And I wasn't putting a lot of money into it, so it just got to the point where that the last time I went up to Catterskill Falls in upstate New York with it, yeah, I came back and then there was a leak in the radiator hose, and then something else went wrong, and then it was like, that's it, I'm done.
So did you get another VW?
No, I went Japanese this time.
Okay.
I got a Mazda 6.
Okay. Nice.
Zoom zoom.
Nice.
You like it?
Love it.
Yeah. I looked at the Mazda. We had a Mazda 3. Ham's old car was a Mazda 3, and so we were looking to replace that. We looked at the Mazda 3 and the Mazda 6, and if the 6 had been a hatchback, because that would have been her car, she would have bought it. But,
yeah.
But so it's nice. Did you get a new one, like a 2017, 2018?
No, I went 2015.
2015. Okay.
Yeah.
But was that the first year? They kind of did a major design upgrade a few years ago. So was that
was 2014?
Okay. All right. Yeah. So cool. That's a nice car. I did test drive. It back when I was looking at making a decision whether I wanted to get the Volt or whatever, and I just couldn't find a Mazda 6 that was used that was in good enough shape at the time I needed to do it. So
yeah, they don't come up, and when they do, they kind of just go. I mean, I was lucky to find this one.
Yeah.
And
that's exactly what I came across. I was like, well, Mazda, it's a nice. I liked the car. I liked how it drove, but I couldn't find one that was in good enough shape that was in my budget that I'd set. My whole goal was to sell back the VW and put money in the bank after I bought my replacement car, and that Mazda 6 wouldn't have done that for me. So, well, cool. Those are fun cars.
And if I don't drive it too spiritedly, which is hard to do, I've managed to get up to 37 so far miles to the gallon.
That's nice. Yeah. That's very good. And is it automatic or manual?
It's mainly automatic, but I can manually shift.
Okay. It's got the
shift, the pedals on the wheel, or I can do it through the
Okay.
The stick as well.
Yeah, it's a nice car. Plenty of room in that car too, right? I mean, back seat's pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, a decent sized trunk too, so there's a lot of storage space.
It's okay.
Yeah, you can fit all your camera tossing equipment in the back.
I can. That's what counts. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. Well, congrats on the new ride. That's so you said goodbye to VW too. I really wanted to stick with VW, and I was like, yeah.
It wasn't bad, but it's just maintenance on those things. Unless you can find a shop that'll do it for you for not much money. If you go to the dealership, oh my God, they just
Yeah. That was one of the things that pushed me away from them a little bit too. I was like, yeah, if you get it seems right about that 6 to 7 year mark, it's fine if you do your maintenance. But once you get past then, the maintenance just starts adding up on them.
Yep.
And it's and BMWs are kind of like that too. Did you find out with your BMW, Wes? Was that kind of the?
Yeah.
It gets older, 7-10-year-old car. I mean, the maintenance just ends up becoming a pretty major.
Yeah, it's like the materials they use. I like the engineering on German cars is good, but like the materials was just not that good. And there was like a heating system that were like plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would you have hot water running through plastic? Kind of in a car.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, and that was kind of the bugaboos with the VWs is when you start getting, that 6-7 years old, that stuff starts going, like the plastic tubing or whatever.
Yeah.
And to get to that, because there's so much stuff, you got to take everything apart. So it costs you $1,000 to replace the $100 piece of tube or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if they just placed it over here away from everything, it would be a simple replacement. But
yeah, and everything requires a special tool.
Yeah.
You got to get the special VW tool that they only sell to techs. So, or you can buy it yourself, but it's way expensive. You can go to one of the German car parts sites and you can get the special tool, but it's $100 to replace your $20 electrical component that you have to pay a bunch, take 5 hours to take everything apart to get to it, to use your $100 tool to replace your $20 piece. Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see how they adapt to no diesel. It's gonna be interesting to see. But in the meantime, we move on. We're all going to all three of us. And how about you, Dennis? You have what, a Land Rover?
I got a Land Cruiser.
Land Cruiser. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm being punished. The road tax. Yeah.
You need to get like a Mazda or a Honda or a Subaru or something now.
Yeah, well, I got a Mini Cooper. Club. Yeah, the Mini Cooper is quite good. It's quite nippy, quite fast car.
Yeah, yep. Those are little pocket rockets. They zip around pretty good.
Yeah, I got a five door version, so it's a bit bigger than the original one.
Okay, all right. Oh, that reminds me, cars in London. What's the take there about London not renewing Uber's permit? I heard that came across on Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, I think the black cab drivers have got the ache because they charge like double the price of Uber. So I think there's a bit of political, someone's pulling strings somewhere to get them all out of the job.
Yeah. They said there's 40,000 Uber drivers in London.
Yeah, there's loads. Yeah, we got half of Europe driving our cabs in London. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it's just kind of interesting. I guess it's not going away right now. They're just not going to renew it when it comes up, the end of the year or next year or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. They've appealed to the courts to get it overturned.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, they're going to put a lot of guys out of work.
Yeah.
And of course, the public. I think. I don't know. In America, can you hail private cab on the streets?
Some places.
Yeah, some places. Yeah. It's controlled by a local state and/or county for each of the.
Yeah, see, the London taxi drivers, they have to do it's called the knowledge. It takes a long time to learn all the streets.
Mm-hmm.
To get their license to do it.
Yeah.
Whereas a minicab driver, that's the private cars, you don't need any qualifications at all. Just be the driver, like, you know.
Yeah, be the driver and pay the fee, probably, whatever they charge.
Yeah. You can just work for a private hire company, but you're not allowed to hail a cab. You can't stop one in the street. You have to ring in to get them to come to you.
So you're not allowed to just walk out on the street and
that's right. You can't
lift up your skirt and show them a little thigh and
you can't walk to the curb and go taxi. You know, they're not allowed to stop. They're not allowed to pick up in the street. You have to actually ring in. But I think Uber have brought out an app for the phone now, where you can order your cab on the street when you're walking along, because they just come and pick you up. And I think it's hurting the London cab drivers now.
Yeah, they need the London cab drivers need to come up with their own app. I mean, that's the answer.
Yeah. I mean, it's impossible, Mark. I was in central London, and I can walk faster than the traffic.
And it's better for you too.
Yeah, I've actually got off a bus and walked down Oxford Street, and I got to the other end before the bus did.
That's funny. That tells you traffic is bad.
Yeah, because you get a cab, the meter in the cab works on time as well as mileage.
Ooh, yeah. And if you're sitting,
you could go 100 yards and it's cost you £5.
Yeah. That would be a little frustrating, I would think, and expensive.
Yeah, you think to yourself, like, by the time I get home, I won't have any money left.
Yeah. Take out a loan to pay the cabbie.
Yeah, you get out the cab at the other end. He goes, "That's £300, please."
Yeah. Ooh. Yep. Well, let's jump into the images here because it's almost it is almost 7. Wow, kind of good. But let me jump in here because I know Simi's posted a few as always, and got a couple. Dennis posted one, and jump in here and we can talk about. So this I wanted to start here. You guys see this is the last one I think from last week that you did, Simi, and this is very interesting. I like the fact it's got that millennium, like what you say, Dennis, was the Millennium Falcon coming coming along. So
I think that's the ship coming in, isn't it, from Independence Day?
There you go.
Yep.
That's that one was originally with the sun on the right.
Okay.
But for whatever reason, I wanted to see how it looked with the sun on the left.
Okay. All right.
And while I was deciding between the two, the thumbnails were next to each other, and I was like, "Oh, this would be good if I put them both together." So I tried it out, put it both together, got the sun. So it was in the middle, and then kind of stitched the two together. I had to mask out half of each one, and then
line them up as close as you can, and
yeah,
put a little blur in the center. Yeah, that's neat. And the scene was really good for it too. I mean, it's not too complicated, but there's just enough stuff to
it reminded me of one of those, what do they call those things? Rorschach test or something? The ink blots.
Yep. What do you see in this picture? What should I see? I don't know. You tell me what I should see. Yeah, no, that's a neat one. That's very cool. I think that was the last one. You posted this one this week, I think, right, Simi? Yeah.
Yeah. This is I drive by this tree almost every week.
Okay.
It's one of them. I have like 3 trees that I'm trying to get in the right conditions, right light. And luckily, I'm not sure if it was Jose. It might have been one of the other storm fronts that came through. But we had out of the 3 nights, this was the good night where it wasn't stormy. Yep. No, I did get rained on after this.
Okay.
And they open up this field, like to your left. You can't even see it. It's way over. Part of the field they segregate for sunflowers, so people come there every year to take pictures with the sunflowers. And sunflowers are like dying or dead right now, wilting. So So not only did I have the right conditions, but there was nobody there that night. So I didn't. There was parking was not an issue.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
And just ran out there, and I got about a good hour just with this tree before I got rained on.
Okay. All right. So you have different images as the light changed and that type of thing. Yeah. That's a neat, very nice hue coming in from the light, especially on the corn on the side here. That's very cool. And are you going to try to get this tree in the winter too? That'd be interesting to see. If we get some snow on the ground and some clouds, that type of thing.
It's a pretty long hike out there. I'm not sure I might twist my.
Okay. All right.
You never know. What's when it's winter and all that stuff's dead. You know.
Yeah.
Gopher holes and whatnot. You can't see.
Oh, okay. All right. So you did have to walk a ways into the field to get to this spot then.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
I mean, it's not far, but in the wintertime, that might be
it could be a challenge. Yeah, especially if it's got all the conditions that would make it a good shot. It would be ice and snow, and yeah.
I've got another tree scoped out for that. We'll see how that looks.
Okay. All right. Very cool. Yeah, snow will be here before we know it. At least for you, not for me and Wes. Oh, so this is the same tree?
Yeah.
From a more front on. Wow.
Yeah, with the long exposure that the clouds were moving just in the right way for this one.
300 seconds. Okay, so you put that 10 stop on there, and look at that. Did you do
a color replacement? Yeah.
Yeah, color replacement.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, wow, that's really red.
Just on the grass and of course whatever for the corn of that part of it.
Fields of Madness. Yeah, that's neat. Yeah, that's pretty neat. I like that. Yeah, the clouds are nice. That 5 minutes of motion captured there. Yeah, that's excellent image. I love the color, that red. Okay, so there he is. The same tree.
Yep.
With 0.4 of a second. Yeah.
Yep, no long exposure on this one.
Yeah.
A little bit higher, just so you can see the little peak of there's a little structure over there.
Oh, over here. Okay. Yeah, it looks like a barn or something, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, that's nice. A little bit, you get more sky in here, and yeah. Yeah, it's neat.
Yeah, you can see
interesting subject. You're able to get it from all different angles.
Behind it too, there's a little hedgerow behind it.
Okay.
As well.
Yeah. No, it's neat. Is it? It's neat when you can find something, and like you do a lot of times, it seems like, is you find something that really catches your eye, and then you just spend a good amount of time there and see what develops basically over time, and because the light's always changing, the weather's always changing, and it gives you time to really kind of look at something and figure out
sometimes
what else you want to do besides what that initial impression was, I think.
Yeah, sometimes you go to a place and it's like you get there and you get just the one condition. It doesn't really change much, or it changes too quickly. And but this one I had time to, like I said, I had this thing all to myself. Nobody was bothering me.
It looks like there's more clouds in this. So this is a little later in the day.
It's around a little later, but yeah, it's
all right.
Just before I got rained on.
Okay. All right. So this one, yeah.
It's the front's moving through as I'm taking this, and the dark clouds are behind me. So.
Oh, okay. So you're looking behind you as you're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, this looks like it's gonna get a little.
Yeah. Let me cover up the. Do you have a waterproof cover for the camera at all? Like a.
On the way back, I just took the one that was for the backpack.
Okay.
And wrapped it up in it. I didn't feel like taking out the actual cover for it.
Okay. So. Yeah. That's probably good enough to keep it from a rainstorm, but not good enough to protect it if it were to actually fall in a body of water or anything.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Very nice. I like that. Great stuff. All right, here's my mausoleum, Dennis.
Yeah.
This is the, I did two, this is plate 2. So this is the one of the church. So this was the second sheet, but I put the orange filter in. The first one, which I thought I had it, this is without the filter. And I processed them, once I got them into Lightroom, I did just a raw scan. And when I got them into, and the conversion was the same, but when I got them into Lightroom, I did the same adjustments for both, just so you kind of compare.
Did you have the front standard fixed, or was it tilted?
The front standard was, I raised it a little bit to get everything in frame. I raised it a little bit, and I tilted it. I think I tilted it back, if I remember, which I have no idea if that was the right way or not.
It just looks like the front wall is leaning towards the tower, yeah?
Yeah, that's what I noticed too. It is leaning a little bit, and I don't know how. Yeah, this architecture is just, it just throws me completely. I'm just getting used to the basic front tilt and rise and fall. So I've got a lot of work to do with architecture and movements.
You may have needed to put some swivel on it, to bring that back straight.
That might have been it. Yeah. But yeah, this is the this was the first piece of modern architecture that was built in the little town of Columbus, Indiana. I forget who the architect was in this, but this was built in 1942. So this was the first building of many in this town, which is really begs for me to go back and spend a couple days here. Just once I actually learn how to adjust the camera to account for distortion and photograph, because there is a lot of real interesting buildings in town.
Do you like this type of architecture then, Mark?
It's interesting. It's pretty stark. To me, it does take on a little bit of like, not Minority Report, but yeah, it is definitely a little bit of a more, to me, it's more industrial kind of look to it. But just some interesting, what's interesting about the town is it's a regular town, but interspersed throughout it are these various buildings, cutting edge buildings as far as design, and and there's a lot of landscape architecture too. They got a lot of popular landscape architects over the years to come in and do some of their park spaces and that type of thing. So pretty interesting. But yeah, so this is the second one with the orange filter, and the biggest difference I noticed is the clouds come out a little bit better. Brings out more detail in the clouds, and I think in the trees too. There's probably a little more detail in the trees. Now I couldn't get the orientation. Yeah, this is pretty close, but I mean, I had to put the negative on the plate when I scanned it. The positioning was a little different. So I got a little bit, because of the borders of the negative were a little different. So this image has a little bit more tree on this side and a little bit less on the other side. By the time I had to adjust for, to crop out the tilt, because it wasn't lined up at 100% correct on the glass, on the wet mount.
It's all trial, Mark.
Yeah.
I'm new to large format myself, so
yeah.
I took one and the building looked twisted.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think most of it was okay, but yeah, this definitely was not tilted like that. It was straight.
Yes.
I was about, how far away was I? Maybe 75 meters from the building. I was as far back as I could get, and it was just barely enough to get the whole thing in the frame, top to bottom. Yeah. I really couldn't go back much farther and still get the same general.
You were at an angle with this, though, weren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's the downfall. If you're taking it from an angle, I think you've got to swing the front. You've got to stick.
Yeah, you probably have to swing the front the opposite direction of the lean, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was. I tried to do it. I tried to do it head on, but back over here, there was a building that wasn't far enough. I wasn't far enough away to get the whole thing in with the lens that I had. So this was.
Yeah.
I spent about 5 minutes when I got there, just walking around, putting the camera and looking through to see where I could get the whole thing in. And this was. I could have gone over a little farther, but then the tree would have started intruding on the front. So this was the best that I could do.
It's all trial, Mark. That's all you can do is practice, isn't it?
Yep, it is. And I'm going to practice with black and white and not color.
Yeah, practice with black and white and out-of-date film, yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, the detail is definitely there. I mean, there's, you know, all the individual bricks and all that stuff came out really nice. So once I learn how to correct for the distortion, I think I'll be pretty good.
If you put it onto a piece of photographic paper when you go to your society you've joined, I reckon that it will probably be crystal clear.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I was actually, when I was in there yesterday scanning these in, I was talking to a guy who's kind of new to the darkroom as well, and we were talking. We've got to corral John, the guy, and say, okay, we're going to take some of your time, and you're going to walk us through and show us how to do this, so we can come back in on our own and do it. So, and here you got Tim.
Yeah, he's. But this was taken with the Bronica.
Okay.
Yeah, and
what was the film?
Portra.
Okay.
Yeah, out of date Portra.
Okay. And you don't know how far out of date was it?
It wasn't too bad. It's this year it went out earlier. Okay.
Well, there's definitely a green tint, but like you said, he was standing in front of the glass with the field grass in front of him, so behind you, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of grass behind me. Yeah.
Okay.
And I just wondered if it picked up the green. I mean, even the glass in the windows has got a slight green tint to it. So I think there's a lot of green being bombarded onto the glass, and it's just up on the film.
Yeah, I mean, you can see there's definitely a slight green tint to his right side of his face.
Yeah.
Over there, and a little bit on the window frame.
The sun mark was so bright, because even Tim said to me, "This is gonna be awful."
Yeah.
Yeah. But we took the pictures with the 180mm Sensonon lens.
Okay.
Yeah, and that is supposed to be the bee's knees portrait lens for Bronica. They're quite rare.
Yeah, that's equivalent about 90mm and 35. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I found it was quite soft. Although the picture's quite sharp.
Mm-hmm.
This was taken at 5.6, but I was on the. We was really close.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's quite a bit of detail in it, but obviously it's got blurred ears because the low depth of field.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, the front of the initial front part of his face is focused. The the hair.
He's squinting. He says, "I'm going to go blind if you don't hurry up."
Yeah, you're gonna be blind if you staring right into the sun. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so I wonder if the green is from the grass, or maybe if there's been a little bit of shift in. Did you keep this film refrigerated, or was it just kind of sitting out at room temperature?
Oh, no, so it's been at room temperature, but we don't get the heat here like you do in America.
Yeah, your room temperature is less warm than our room temperature.
Yeah. It's rare. This room gets very, very hot.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, so we're none the wiser whether the Raleigh chemicals are intact or not.
Yeah. Now, did you develop the rest of the film? Or are there any other images that kind of are yielding the same kind of?
It was all basically Tim and me. We were just taking pictures of each other, so we used the film up.
Okay. All right. Yeah, just to get through it.
Yeah. Maybe we'll try a roll of Ectar next time and use the same chemicals.
Yep, that might be a good way to do it. All right, Simi, we're back. Is this the same tree or a different tree?
Nope, same one. Last one in the series.
So, okay. I see what. Okay, so you're kind of
maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the color in the sky here. imagine this. Yeah, 1 second exposure. So.
Yeah, this one here was the last one before we got rained on.
Okay. All right. So that was the.
And it got the almost yin and yang. You got the clouds moving down to your from your upper left down to where the buildings are, and then the path leads over to your lower right over to the tree to your left.
Yep. That's nice. It's a nice combination of the colors and the framing, the tree here and the tree line over here. It just kind of ties all that in there. Yeah.
If you played with the saturation on this, Simi?
For the clouds in the upper, just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nice. Very nice. The colors are great. Clouds are nice.
Saturation is more vibrance for me.
Okay. Vibrance, yeah. That's what I tend to. I use that first if I'm going to do anything. It's vibrance, and then that seems to work better, like without too much fiddling around. A lot of times. Yeah, very nice. And then we got Michael has been posting some images. So this is Amsterdam, Heineken Brewery. Okay, there we go. That's big
brewery. Didn't he have one in Germany last week?
Yes, he did. He showed the Hofbrauhaus in Germany. Now he's in Amsterdam, the Heineken Brewery.
And we're dealing with an alcoholic photographer here, are we?
Yeah, he's a lover of beer. He's a beer aficionado. And it's 6:45.
Is he one of Joe's people?
Yeah, I don't know. Michael's been posting. I don't recognize him from the Share Beer group or anything like that. So I'm just wondering how he became aware of us, which I'm fine with. It's great to see images from other parts from all around. And looks like he may have been in a bus or something. It looks like maybe shooting through the window in a bus or train or something. But it's kind of neat. Amsterdam is one town I would like to visit.
Yeah. Not far from there.
Yeah, you're not that far. How long would it take you? You just take the
it's about half hour on a plane out of the local airport.
Be there real quick.
Yeah, I've been to Amsterdam. It's quite an experience.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I haven't experienced it yet. Pam says if I go, she has to go with me. I don't know.
There's a lot of stuff. I found it very strange when you're walking down the high street and people offering you hashish. Yeah,
they're very very open city.
Yeah. I thought if you tried that in London, you'd just be arrested.
Yeah, without no questions asked. Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose it'd be the same in America as well, yeah?
Oh, yeah, yep. Now, what's cool about these houses, I guess these are storm drains up there? What are they? Each one, this one has a...
I think they were winching stuff up, because the staircases are so narrow in the end.
Okay. Yep, so it's a beam, it's a roof beam that protrudes out that they attach...
I think that's how they get the furniture into the house, through the window.
Okay, yeah. Hoist the grand piano up into the upper room.
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't stand underneath while they're doing it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this one over here. Yep. That probably is what it is. I thought maybe at first like gutters or a drain, but no, it must be. Yeah, because they're right at the peak. All the beams are at the peak, which would be the strong point.
Yeah. If I remember, Mark, the staircases inside these buildings are really narrow.
Okay.
Yeah, because everything seems to be like squashed up.
Yeah, well, the buildings are narrow and deep, so the staircases are probably at the back of the building and narrow. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you'd get furniture up the staircases.
Yeah, it would be tough. You just have to bring it up through the window in the front. That's neat. That's some neat old buildings, and of course it looks like maybe some newer buildings in amongst some old buildings. I don't know, like this one looks newer maybe, or maybe at least new windows in the building.
Yeah, I think even when you get new ones in Amsterdam, they make them build them to the correct style. Yeah,
keep the original style. We got Heineken's Glazenwasch Stoom. I don't know Dutch, so.
yeah, I've heard the guy speaking Dutch, and I wouldn't like to try and learn that language.
Now I wonder if this is. No, this couldn't be Neri. No, I don't think it is. We got a guy that pops in on a Friday, Joe's Friday show that is in this part of the world, but I don't think that's him. Interesting. Oh, it's fun to see. So this is Thorbeck. Who? Anybody know who he is? He warrants a statue in some park somewhere, so he must be something.
Yeah. No, I'm afraid I can't tell you who he was.
No?
You have to Google him, Mark.
Yeah, I probably will. I know here in the States, there's lots of local political figures. You know, if they do right, they get byways and bridges and parks named after them. So maybe this guy's just like a local leader, but interesting.
Yeah, I wonder what he done to get himself a statue. Yeah.
Okay, there's Rembrandt. I guess he probably warrants a few statues.
I know who that is. Yeah.
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 That guy, okay.
We haven't got to look him up.
No. Yeah. That's neat. Yeah, it's some nice light on that statue. Actually, I expect it was a little bit later on in the day.
Yeah.
Yep. Very neat. Cool stuff, Michael. I like to see. Ooh, this is the Royal Palace. Amsterdam. That looks old and ornate. Wow. Yeah, I wonder how old that is. So, a couple 100 years old at least, probably.
You just can't tell these days.
Yeah. New construction.
Built last month, yeah.
New construction. Neat stuff, Michael. Thanks for doing that. It sounds like you've been, looks like you were in Germany before. Now you're in Amsterdam. So yeah, maybe, I don't know where you're at, Michael. Send a message and let us know where you're from. But my guess is over in Europe somewhere, but it's neat to see images from that. Always fun. Well, good stuff. Good stuff as always, Simi. Fantastic. Did you get out yesterday or today?
Today, yesterday, Friday.
Oh man,
I have a backlog of images right now.
Really? Okay. You're set up for the winter when maybe you don't get out and shoot as much. You've got all the stuff you can post through.
We'll see. I don't know. We'll see what winter. The last couple winters have been not too much snow, mostly just cold. Yeah,
and I think you'd rather have it be not as cold, but at least a little bit of snow on the ground, because that gives adds some interestingness to the landscape.
So we hope for.
Yep, definitely. Well, good stuff. Great show as always, Wes. Appreciate you showing up, Sim and Dennis. Thanks for staying up late with us, Dennis. Get ready to start another week of Sundays coming up for you.
Yeah, that's right. It's already the next Sunday. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yep.
12:30. Yeah.
Yep. Next Sunday. Well, appreciate it. I've got some dinner waiting for me down in a crock pot. I did some mole chili today, so we'll see how that comes out. Yeah, I don't know how it's kind of just a guess on the mole spices, so we'll see how that comes out. It smelled okay, but a lot could change in an hour and a half, so we'll just have to go down and try it out. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Hey, good one. Good show as always. Guys, have a great week. Take lots of images, post to the group, and we know that Simi will post at least 10 or 15, and it will just depend on us to get a few random ones up if we get out.
Yeah.
Keep producing, Simi. We're depending on you.
Oh, jeez.
The pressure.
No pressure.
Not at all. All right, guys. Have a good week.
You too.
See you. All right. Bye.